Hello, my name is George Nibble, and today I'm going to start a new tutorial series on how to create a top-down shooter game. It's going to be based in kind of a city environment, but I'm going to try to make this mostly in the country, or at least an environment where I don't have to make too many models, so the models that we do make, and I give it to you for free, of course, can be a bit more detailed, so then, well, they look a lot more what they're supposed to be like. So first thing you want to do is just create a project. Now I want to do it on a laptop, and this has the C50 mobile processor, I believe that's what it is, which is pretty crappy. Also it has less than a gig of RAM, so it may be having some crashing problems, which I'm experiencing those right now. And, yep, my computer just crashed. Okay, never mind. So I'm just going to create a new project. And we can call this whatever we want. Okay, that's nice. Let's call this My Game Like GT. No. This is gonna be kind of like, we're gonna make a game kind of like Grand Theft Auto. You probably played it. I play it. Well, played it. Don't play it anymore, but. The only aspect of the game that I really enjoyed was the part of driving cars, walking around an urban environment. I did not do any of the missions, and I didn't like the part where you could kill people. Probably the best part was shooting at the ground in the middle of nowhere, and then somehow having the cops come after you. And if you go on the military base and steal the tank, for some reason there's the stupid FBI trucks that drive into you, and they constantly blow up because they're so crappy, but enough about that. Just create a new project and import the character controllers. Yeah, we'll take the light flares, particles, of course, physics materials. We don't need the projectors. We need the scripts. We will not need a skybox because it's really pointless because this is top-down. Train tools, toon shaders. I would never use that in any game. I would just kill myself if I had to use a toon shader. Tree creators, and let's create this. So I'm just going to pause this as it creates it, because this is probably going to take a little while, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. My Unity has finally finished loading. Okay, so create a new cube, and we'll scale this to 10 by 10. It'll be fine. And we'll delete the main camera because we won't be needing that. And we're just going to use the first-person controller, but we're going to turn that into a top-down shooter controller, kind of. Okay, so I'm just going to set this to 0, 0, 0, and we'll go take a look at him. Okay, now, the train isn't exactly in the right place, so I can move that a bit too. And our first person controller is for the ground, so we can move him up a bit. Make sure he's above the train or else he'll just fall through. I'm going to rename this to player. And I'm going to take the main camera and let's move this up. Let's move this up 10, and then we want to rotate this 90. Okay. Now I'm just going to add a direction light just so we can see our scene. So let's create a directional light, and then we'll play this. I have to remove the mouse look on the camera. So let's go do that. Let's go in your inspector and right click on the mouse look and hit remove component and then play. And there we go. We can look around, move our player around, and he can jump, and that's not good for a first person. Sorry, not a first person, a top-down shooter. So I'm going to click on our player and we'll look at the character motion and go to jumping, and we'll just uncheck mark that so it's not enabled. And another thing is, let's start organizing this. So creating a folder, and we're going to call this game under dash data, and then we'll create a new folder, and we'll call this player, and then we'll create a new prefab, and we'll call this player. I like to keep organized in Unity just because I cannot work with something that has just a whole bunch of stuff thrown in there. I just can't work with that. So go ahead and save our scene, and let's go into game data, create a new folder, and we'll call this scenes. And we'll just call this level 1. Okay, and we have it there. Okay, so now let's start adding scripts to our games, and it actually does something. That's not what I meant. Okay, create new folder, and we'll call this scripts. And then we'll create a new script. I'm going to program this in C# because it is the best language. JavaScript is crap, Boo is crap. Well, I've never even used Boo, but C# is probably the best language besides C++. All the other languages suck, and especially Visual Basics. Okay, so we'll call this player under dash script. And we'll drag this onto our player. Oh, sorry, my computer is just hasn't updated that I've added a new script, and we'll try that again. There we go. And you see that the script has been attached to our player, so I can go ahead and pause the video. Actually, before I do that, go to Edit, go to Preferences, and go to External Tools, and make sure this is Mono Development built in. And I'm going to double click on this and pause the video because it's probably going to take some time for Mono Development to start up. It always does. I'll be back. And I'm back. So first we'll set up some variables here. Make them public, just so we can see them in the inspector and edit them if we need to. So make this a public int, and we'll call this the player under dash health, and we'll set this to 100, and then we'll set up the public int player under dash I want to make it in our game, so then our player has to eat. So let's say you're playing the game and your player will start losing food, which will probably have a couple pictures of a hamburger that looks like it's slowly getting eaten, and eventually when the hamburger's gone, every minute or so he'll lose like a heart, and then we'll have to go eat some food, and each heart is going to be the value of 10. So if he doesn't eat for 10 minutes, which isn't really realistic, he'll just die. And then we'll say, you died, and we have to replay the game from our last save. So let's say player under dash food. So I really don't think there's a word for what I'm trying to explain. Okay, if anyone can think of a word that I'm trying to explain, gladly leave it in the description. Then also we want our here we're gonna have a time, since it says like the current time is 5 a.m. or whatever, which we'll program that in a bit, not right now, because I'm gonna run out of time in a bit. Okay, so I just want to show you before I leave that this works. So we'll go back to the player, and if you look at him, let's wait for this to compile. And there we go. It says the player health is 100, and player has 100 food, and each hamburger, well, we're just gonna have a picture of a hamburger slowly getting eaten. The most gone, he's gonna start losing health, but each different image of the hamburger getting eaten is gonna drop by 10. So 10 theoretical bites of the hamburger, he's dead. Which is kind of funny. But so I'm out of time. Next tutorial we'll probably be working on displaying a little GUI in the corner of the game, down here or up here or whatever, which will say how much health he has, and then probably show a picture of a heart and hamburgers or whatever. And I'm also thinking of setting up armor, so then he can pick up some armor, and when he does, when stuff shoots at him, he will have armor to protect him, and then once his armor is gone, he'll start losing health. Now, I'm going to try to base this game not off of killing virtual people, so that's not very right. It's a bad influence to stuff, and we're going to kind of base this off of creatures, zombies, or something that gets in the town, and of course, us being the little poor kid, or man, or whatever, we have to go kill them because everyone's afraid of dying. And of course, it works in every game, the main player is not afraid of dying. So that's basically how we're gonna make this work. So, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out Weeble.com. Make sure to check out some of our tutorials, and goodbye.